Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Those of you who know me personally know that I am a huge fan of the Indian brand of motorcycles. A huge fan. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that I'm the biggest Indian motorcycle fan on the planet. Okay, well, maybe not. I've got a really good friend of mine that is probably a bigger fan than I am, but I do love the Indian brand. I've owned 3 Indians and I've loved all of them. I'm currently riding an Indian Roadmaster. So Indian is my preferred brand. My preferred type of motorcycle is a touring motorcycle. I want to be able to spend 12 hours in the saddle uh, and do it relatively comfortably. And I've been able to do that on my Roadmaster. I live in Southeast Texas. I have ridden my Indian across the state of Texas. I've ridden in New Mexico, Colorado, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Louisiana. As a matter of fact, a friend of mine, over 20 years ago, he handed me his keys and he said, "Go take my Gold Wing for a ride." And here I was in my late 30s then, and I climbed on top of that old man motorcycle and rode it, and I was hooked as far as touring bikes go. And so I've owned several touring bikes over the years, including a Gold Wing, and I just love that type of motorcycle. And one thing I've been saying for more than 2 years now, because I've owned my Roadmaster for over 2 years, is that the Indian Roadmaster is the best touring bike on the market today. That has been my argument. But the Indian Roadmaster now has a challenger. Recently, the Indian Motorcycle Company released a new model. It is the Indian Pursuit, which you'll look at and you say, well, it's a Challenger. It's a touring version of the Challenger. And it is. That's exactly what it is. It's the touring version of the Challenger. Much like Indian offered the Chieftain, and a year later they offered the Roadmaster. Essentially the same bike, but if I take the lower fairings off of my Roadmaster, if I take the trunk off, it gives it an entirely different look, an entirely different feel. And in my opinion, looking at the Challenger and then looking at pictures of the new Pursuit, it looks radically different. And by the way, at the end of the video, I'll put up a picture of my Roadmaster, the other variation of the Roadmaster, which has a different bat wing fairing and different saddlebags, and then I'll put up some pictures of the new Pursuit. But in my opinion, looking at the pictures, with the crash bars, engine guards, with the lowers, saddlebag protectors, and the trunk, it gives the bike a radically different look than the Challenger. And of course, they've added some additional features you could get. If you get the premium version of the Pursuit, it has an electronically adjusted rear shock, which is fantastic. And you think about that, if you're going on a trip and you've got your saddlebags loaded down, you can adjust the suspension for that. Your wife decides to go on a 3-day trip with you. You can adjust the suspension, or you can adjust it for just a solo rider without any luggage. So that'll be a really neat feature. That's one of the extra features for getting the premium one. But it really looks good. The base model, $29,999, about the price of a Roadmaster. So I love my Roadmaster. I'm riding 17,000 miles a year. I'm thinking if I ride it 10 years, it'd be 170,000 miles. And at some point, I'm going to replace my Roadmaster. Hopefully I'll just keep it because I really love the bike. But at some point, I'm going to have so many miles on it, it'll be time to replace it. I thought I might do that when I retire, for a retirement present to myself, buy another new touring bike then. And I really assumed that I would replace it with another Roadmaster. But now I'm beginning to wonder. I'm beginning to have some second thoughts here. When it comes time to replace my Roadmaster, I may just keep the Roadmaster for sentimental reasons. And I'm going to seriously look at that Pursuit. I think it really looks good. And that Power Plus motor. Now, I love my Thunderstroke motor. But that Power Stroke, Power Stroke, is that the name of the new motor? The Thunderstroke and the Power Plus. I'll get it right in a minute. The Power Plus motor that you get on the Challenger is awesome. Not only does it have all that torque, it has a tremendous amount of horsepower too. And I'm pretty sure the Challenger/Pursuit has a larger gas tank as well. And so it really, this new Pursuit may become, when it hits the market, and I think it'll be hitting dealership soon, may become the best touring bike on the market today. You know, up to this point, it's been the Roadmaster, and we'll see. I mean, the styling is radically different between the two bikes. Some people are going to buy the Roadmaster over the Pursuit because of style and vice versa, but I know they're both fantastic motorcycles, and I'm really I predicted that they would offer a touring version of the Challenger this year, and then when the 2022 models appeared on the website and there was no touring version, I thought, well, I got that prediction wrong, but they did. They've released it now as the Pursuit, so I'm excited about the Pursuit. I'm eager to see one in person. Again, I'll put up some pictures of my Roadmaster, the other variation of the Roadmaster, and some pictures of the Pursuit as well. And so if you like to ride as much as you can, because one day we're all going to be too old to ride. All right, Samantha, what's the message you have?
Be sure to like this video and subscribe and comment.